what you going through. We are the antidote. We are unhinged, 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 unhinged. Yeah. Life comes at you hard sometimes, but we take a lighter look. Just have a laugh with us. We are the antidote. Unhinged, 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 unhinged. We are the antidote. When life comes at you hard sometimes, we take a lighter look. Just have a laugh with us. We are the antidote. Unhinged, 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 unhinged. With Dwayne and Elise. We want days of work on water, and the good days beyond being knitted. But no matter what you're wearing through, we are the antidote. We are the antidote. Life comes that you had some time, but we typical line look. Just have a laugh with us. We are the antidote. We are the antidote. Unhinged. When the days are work of Martin. Unhinged. Another day's beyond the end. Unhinged. But no matter what you're going through, we are the antidote. We are the antidote. Unhinged. When our days are work of Martin, and other days we undealent. But my daughter, what you worrying through, we are the antidote. We are the antidote. Unhinged. When the days are work of Martin, and other days we undealent. But my daughter, what you worrying through, we are the antidote. We are the antidote. When we days a work of Martin, another days we undealent. We are the antidote. Another days we undealent. But more.
Welcome one and all.
Good night, Dwayne. Good night.
Welcome to another episode
Everybody.
of Unhinged, the Dwayne and Elise Show. I am Dwayne, along with my co-host, the one, the only, the fab.
Good
Yeah.
night, everybody.
You look like you didn't even know how to act when you get a compliment. That's why you don't compliment MVA woman. Anyway. So what's up? How was your week?
Good week.
Okay, all right. Had a fairly good week. Sahara Dust for kicking my to last week, but you know, I good now. I got to go now. Anyway, I have a hard stop, so we need to get you out of here on time. So let me start with some housekeeping. This is the Unhinged show. We have 4 basic rules. We don't use real names. We don't talk politics or religion. We use a heap of scientifically unscientific statistics. And most of all, around here, we listen so that we can judge. Okay. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. On Facebook, we are at Unhinged, doing an Unreleased show. And then on YouTube, we are Unhinged_VI. Okay, so I think that's it. So we could jump right into it. Anyway, this week, we're going to spend the show once again, helping some people out there in the world, in the internet world. There are a lot of people out there that are desperate for our guidance. I feel like we are the Avengers. You know what I mean? So, hold tight. It's coming to the rescue. All right. Case number 1. Let's go. Hi there. Hi there. Not sure if I'm looking for advice or I just need a friendly shoulder to sigh on. I have run into an issue with my husband of almost 40 years, and because of it, I'm not making small talk or starting a conversation with him until I receive an apology. She just sounds like a VI woman. Anyway, we're still talking, but it's about things like what shall we cook for supper, or the store that we are going to doesn't open until 9 a.m., by the way. Last night, we were out for dinner, and I mentioned that I should ask our daughter about a bridge closure in the small city she has been working in for a few years. We spent a couple of decades up there, including the times when our kids came along, so we both are very familiar with the area. The city closed a bridge for a short period for some overdue repairs before realizing the huge impact that it had on the area. And we hadn't heard anything about whether or not they had managed to come up with a workaround for pedestrians or emergency services vehicles. So this morning, I was sitting at the dining room table with my iPad, and I said to him, well, it looks like they did shut the bridge down. At which point my husband interrupted me and told me, I need you to start telling me the subject you're talking about before you first start just telling me something. So I was stunned for a second. The second part of my sentence was going to be, I looked up the information on the city's website just now. I told him that I did not appreciate him interrupting me to tell me how to talk, that it was rude and he needed to stop doing that. He proceeded to tell me it's annoying when I assume that he knows what I'm talking about and that I am at fault for not reminding him first that we talked last night about this particular bridge and the impact on the large neighborhood that the bridge closure has had. I pointed out that he interrupted me before I could tell him the rest of my sentence or the information that I had just finished reading from the city. So I sat there in silence to finish my breakfast. Since then, I have not attempted to start a conversation, but I'm not refusing to talk. I just don't want to be told what I am talking, and I doesn't want to be told that I am talking to him wrong again. To want an apology, he has a very hard time at something I feel I need to put my foot down over. I don't mind someone interrupting me if I have told them an obvious error they feel compelled to point out right at the moment, but this time it was nothing like that. He just felt he had to tell me that I was wrong before I had a chance to finish my first damn sentence. I didn't start this fight, but I am willing to not engage until he figures out how stupidly rude he was earlier today. So, do you think she's overreacting? Do you think she's justified in wanting a whole apology? What do you think?
Well, first of all, they've been married for 40 years. If this is the first time he tell her to stop telling him to stop starting a conversation when he don't know what she's talking about in 40 years, then they have a bigger problem than this.
So I have experienced this, and it'll drive me nuts. So I could see where he's coming from. Like, I used to be in one of my relationships. Like, this person we'd be talking about something, And then we, as far as I thought, like that would end of that. We started to talk about something else. And then later on, we might go on to a third subject. And then they would just blurt out something, and I'm looking at like, because now I try to connect to the third subject, unknown to me, we were talking about. And I'm like, I used to be so frustrated, like, how in the hell you think I would know that this sentence that you just blurt out after completing a discussion about this third subject was related to something that we were speaking about 15 minutes ago?
That's why y'all was in trouble.
No. Like,
Yes.
I focus,
Because y'all
people
can't think
focus.
about more than one thing. No, y'all can't think about one thing, more than one thing at a time. How many times have you, a female ask a man, what are you thinking about? Nothing. And they're absolutely true. Absolutely right. They are thinking about nothing. Well, while we are thinking about several different things. And yes, a thought could come up from something that we talked about 2 conversations ago. Shit, it could come up from a conversation we had yesterday. Keep up.
Yeah, I good for that. Yesterday, last week, we talk about, remember last Thursday, like, all we're asking for is a transition, okay? Just that's all about the transition. A little preface.
No,
Hey,
you need to be smarter than that.
no, hey, by the way, remember the bridge that they closed in the city? I went on the website and, such and such and such. You can't just blow it out, yeah, and start talking.
Listen, the woman told him about the bridge, right?
Last night, the
She's
night
talking
before.
about a bridge. Yes, but she's still talking about the bridge. So it got to be the same bridge.
But I bet they've had conversations since then. I mean, probably not about bridges, but like to us, man, there's no significant, and that's what we're saying. It's not a lack of focus. It's just we try to be efficient with our brain power and our energy.
It's not about a lack of. It is not about a lack of focus. It's a lack of you are being able to keep up. Keep up.
No, it's either be scatterbrained. That's the problem. All over the place.
No.
All
No.
over the place.
That's why we the catch are you to do. Y'all have a one track mind. It'll be a one thing at a time.
We live in a moment, okay? We live in a moment. All right.
Whatever.
And if I would stop lighting fires, most of the time is we out in fires, Out in fires at I start. Just kind of, quietly cleaning up your mess. And we're not saying nothing about it because we're trying to keep the peace. So we're not complaining. We just, but either be scatterbrained. I have 50 different tasks going on, and it's a little half of us. I will start a
That's not
sentence.
scatterbrain.
So it's multitasking. That's why they call it.
It is multitasking.
I will start a sentence, and the subject of the sentence is one thing, and the predicate is a whole different topic. Like how? How that makes sense?
You know what a world would be like if we didn't think in many areas at the same time?
Probably a lot less confusing.
No. I just need to keep up.
So, okay. So your conclusion is that, so you think she's entitled to an apology? She should be holding out for an apology?
No, because he ain't gonna apologize because he's an ass.
As a man just, all the man asking for is a transition. That could kill her. Transition, a little preface. Let me know, hey, we back on this thing from last night. Just.
And why he had to get on like that?
Because I'm sure that's not the first time she do it. The relationship or it used to happen all the time. So I sure she probably seen it as that probably was some built up, some pent up frustration.
40 years?
So he don't get a credit for stomaching this thing for breaking point? No kind of credit.
He owed.
Can't win with that. You know what I mean?
Miss Lady, don't talk to him. Don't talk to me in that sentence.
All right. Case number 2. Ricky. So, I know I'm about to sound like a real jerk. I've been married for 23 years and we're still in love. I came into this relationship with 3 kids. And he, my husband, came with 1, Ricky. Of course, that's not his real name. Anyway, the problem is hubby's son, who has moderate autism. Ricky's birth mother and my husband were so busy trying to be the coolest parent that neither one of them ever disciplined Ricky. Like, not at all. My kids, I'm told, were extremely well behaved and sociable. Ours was a house that all the kids and the neighborhood would hang out in and play games. Ricky was a good kid, but highly challenging to raise, especially with a father who just wanted to be his friend. Neighbors didn't want him in their houses because he habitually chewed furniture and plastics, and he done some damage. I did that too for many years. I was the only parent willing to be consistent and impose structure and rules. When Ricky was in high school, we moved back to my home state and Ricky stayed with his mother. He's not capable of holding even a simple job, mostly because he's never been pushed by anyone but me. And of course, bio parents literally worked against me. 3 years ago, my husband asked if Ricky could come live with us. I said no. Hubby swore up and down that it would just be for a few weeks until Ricky got established. I knew this was a lie, and if I permitted it, Ricky would be here for years, not a few weeks. I was lectured by everyone until I relented, insisting, though, that he couldn't stay here forever. Hubby kept moving the goalposts, and Ricky's already been here 3 years. Now they've agreed between themselves that Ricky can just live here indefinitely, with the end game being us giving him our house. What? I'm angry. I knew Hubby wouldn't keep his word. I knew it would come down to me being the only one who wants to see Ricky live a capable and empowered life. Hubby came in today and again sort of slid into the same old conversation. He keeps misremembering and forgetting our conversations concerning Ricky. I said, I've been a mother since I was 19 years old. I'm done with being a mommy and cleaning up other people's messes. I don't want to live the rest of my life with a kid living with us. I love Hubby very much, and he me. We've only had one split in 23 years, but this is fixing to be a big one. I've known in my heart for years that Hubby wouldn't participate in the growing up and maturation of his own child, and I do not want that life. Ricky is literally the only thing that would make me divorce his father. Any advice for a weary mom who's on her last nerve? What are your thoughts? Elise?
Ricky and his father need to go find a place.
What happened? Well, you meet a man with a child, so what happened?
He meet her with her too.
Yeah. So his child have a
When she tried,
his child has
yes,
autism.
and when she tried to help the child progress, nothing in this story says she didn't like him at any point or nothing was going. She tried to help him progress, and everybody was mad with her.
Yeah.
And now that he doesn't have, he's not able to hold on a job, not able to survive in society. I get her, but I try already, and you didn't want the help. None of y'all wanted the help. So if you want to live someplace, you and he go find a house. She deserved to be able to step out to the role of, but he's not a child anymore. He's a grown adult.
Correct. I was just giving you a
And his
hard
father should also look into his father should also be looking into services for him, because
Right.
there are services available.
Right, and I totally agree. And she indicated she was the only one trying to put, instill any kind of structure or anything into his life. So this may sound cruel, but he is a product of his parents' creation. To a certain extent. So it shouldn't be my burden. I tried, and like you say, she tried, and the parents were just kind of, working against her, not with her. And at the end of the day, like, he's their responsibility, more so hers. She could have just kind of been hands off just like them and just be like, it's not my biological child, and, let it be whatever. But yeah, I think she did her part. And like she said, she's been a mother since she's been 19. Like, I don't raise mine. I used to hear grandmother them tell her children them all the time, you know, that my children them done grown, you know, and it's a valid point. I don't raise mine, so I need to handle our business. You know what I'm saying? So I totally concur. I totally concur. Yeah. So we are to the next one. I gotta find something to disagree with you on tonight. All right. Third case. My husband and I are doing okay financially. We make enough money to not worry about rent and necessities. We are saving a decent amount of money and have room for growth in both our careers. I make a little more than 1/3 of our combined income. We are both in our late 30s and we have 2 6-year-old boys. I have never liked my husband's family, most of them anyways. They have a lot of old-fashioned opinions and they don't approve of me. It's perfectly okay though, because we don't have a lot of contacts. My husband's cousin's wedding is this week and they are getting married in our city. My husband offered for his parents, aunt, and uncle to stay with us. The bride and groom are renting a separate place. It is a bit of a squeeze, but it's working. They've been here for 2 days now, and on the first day, I heard them having a discussion about how it's so sad that our child won't get to have a proper childhood with a stay-at-home mom like my husband and his cousin had. They were talking in the living room while I was in the kitchen. They damn well knew I could hear them. I was boiling hot, but I didn't care for a confrontation, so I just didn't say anything. So later that evening, I asked my husband if he could ask them to shut up with the cruel comments about me. He said that's just their opinion and it's not hurting me. He said if I'm bothered, I should learn to stick up for myself and that he can't always stick up for me. This struck a nerve because it's true. I usually ask him to do small things like telling a drive-thru person if our order is wrong, because it just makes me feel kind of weird and guilty. So somehow it feels like, you know, that's more his responsibility because it's his family and it's his family that's involved in this situation. Anyways, my father-in-law made one more pointed comment during dinner and I said, your son makes X number of dollars. We live in a big city and the rent is a certain amount of dollars. So we literally can't live on his salary alone. So I don't know why the hell you think I should be home all day. They were pretty quiet after that. Now, my husband is angry at me because I put him down in front of his family, who are all richer than us, and that they will look down on him. Am I the asshole for using my husband's salary to make a point to his family after he told me I should stand up for myself instead of expecting him to do it for me? No, I don't think he'd be an asshole. And he kind of walked right into it when he told you that you need to stand up for yourself. He didn't put parameters or conditions on it, you know, and you use the information that was available and on hand. You know, I tend to say, it ain't my fault, you better stick to a gunfight. You know what I'm saying? What are your thoughts?
I think you were right. Tell them shut up. Everybody shut up. And mind your own damn business. I don't understand why people want to tell other people how to live their own life. I'm not saying you can't give advice if you see something that you think you may be able to give advice on, but to judge people on the way they live when it has nothing, I don't get that. I don't understand that. Yeah, so
Yeah, and while you stay in your house, well, they should have taken since they're better off than you and the barometer, you know, for judging quality of life, well, they shouldn't have hotel. Since I get like that and everything is about money. All right. Damn, we agree on that one. Okay. Next case. I used to work with a girl named Chelsea. She would always tell me that she knows her friend Nicole. Each time she said that, she said as if she didn't remember that we had this conversation already. And I was actively getting better at navigating the conversation. For example, I had gone from asking, is she cute? To now asking, well, what do we have in common? She had gone from just rolling her eyes to telling me we're both tall. Chelsea is very attractive, and from what I've seen thus far, so are all of her friends. So I really wanted Chelsea to follow through with setting me up, with Nicole, but she never did while we were working together. So fast forward a few years, and I run into Chelsea again. Chelsea is now working at a high-end liquor store near my office, and I started running into her from time to time. So she mentions Nicole again. She says we would be a great fit, and this time I really pushed her hard for the setup. She gives me the same speech about how Nicole is tall and we have the same sense of humor, and she's a waitress at a nice restaurant nearby, as well as some other mutual interests. So Chelsea even tells me that she remembers one day I chatted her up about The Walking Dead at work, and after work she was hanging with Nicole, who literally told her the exact same things I had said at work earlier about the show. So we exchanged numbers, and later that day she texted me with a date, time, and place to meet up with Nicole. So the plan was for Chelsea and her fiancé, Nicole, and I to meet up at this designated restaurant. So I crept into Nicole's social media, and it's pretty obvious that she's wildly out of my league. So the morning of the meeting, she texts me and she says that we need to postpone. I was disappointed, but stuff happens. No big deal. So we reschedule week. I had gotten a new haircut, new outfit. The restaurant. I mean, I did everything I could think of. Good first impression. So I get there and I'm introduced to Nicole. So this Nicole that I'm introduced to is short, fairly overweight, and she works at a daycare center, not a high-end restaurant. So I could tell from everyone's reaction that I am visibly disappointed. Nonetheless, I decided to go through with the date, but I just kept bringing the conversation back to what I knew about her, asking questions like, so when did you get bored of The Walking Dead? How long have you been a waitress? And Chelsea mentioned that both of you have known each other since you were kids. So each time I did something like that, Chelsea was trying her best to break up the discussion. But it was obvious that Nicole was very upset. So the girls got up and went to the restroom, and Nicole's fiance asked me, what the fuck are you doing? So I told him, what? Chelsea obviously meant to set me up with someone else. He said, yeah, she did. But Nicole kept asking to postpone, and she clearly wasn't interested in you. So Chelsea found somebody else more in your league. So I gave him a sharp look, and he followed with, okay, she found another Nicole. So the big question is, am I the asshole for not playing dumb while I was sitting there at the double date? What are your thoughts?
I'm speechless. I am speechless. Like,
This is interesting. This is like a different kind of catfish now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I still, his decision to stay and go ahead with the date, I don't know how I would handle a particular, aspect of it. Because, I mean, like you say, like clearly she's short and overweight. This is not the tall person that you told me about. This is not the person whose social media, pages I went through. And I know he got beyond disappointed. Like he really like went above and beyond now to make this good first impression, because like you come in there with the mindset that you like this person out of your league, so you're trying to level up, I don't know if I would have stayed for the date. And then to stay for the date, I think you're being an asshole. Because if you decided to stay and go through with the date, it's obvious that this person, this Nicole, who's at the table is not the person that your coworker Chelsea had been telling you about. So to sit there and just start throwing out things that she told you about somebody clearly other than who's sitting there, like they
But maybe she
I
maybe
just
she
think
described her. She could have described her differently and still same thoughts in the same conversations. So I don't think he is at fault for that. Because she didn't tell things, but the description of who she gave was different.
okay, so okay, but
Either way,
that's-
I would like me to go home.
the Walking Dead thing, because you in your mind you this is the person that she was describing to you, and she just describing somebody totally different. At some point, I think you gotta like back off of that, because I think you're just kind of you gotta be making this girl stupid. Chelsea is the person that really responsible. You don't know this girl, and this girl have no idea that she's supposed to be filling in for, you know what I mean, for this other person. Yeah, circumstances. So I just think he kind of like an asshole to really sit down there and to sit there and kind of put her through that and subject the girl to that. She's not that she's responsible.
And what did Chelsea tell? What did Chelsea tell this Nicole about him?
You don't know, you don't know what this young lady was told. So I probably wouldn't have said, and if I had decided to say, I had much to say. I wouldn't have sit there and just like keep poking, establishing.
I wouldn't
yeah,
have stayed.
this is not the post. I wouldn't have stayed. And like I say, if I chose to stay, I would just say enjoy the food, minimal talk, and then and then move on. All right. Time check. Oh yeah. All right. Next case. Right. So wait. So he's asshole. I think he's asshole. What do you say?
I think Chelsea's an asshole.
Yeah, she too. All right.
I don't think he's necessarily an asshole. I think she is.
Slight disagreement. See, we're starting together, folks. Stay tuned. All right. Next case. My husband and I have had our ups and downs throughout our relationship of 12 years, but we have always stuck together and helped to raise each other up when we were down. So we have a mutual friend. Let's call her J. Let's call her J. J was married to my husband's friend, who we'll call Fred. So a few years ago, my husband and I went through a really rough patch. And a really rough patch where we were separated for a few months. During that time, we were able to work out our differences, and he moved back home. Things were a lot better than before the split, but we still had our occasional ups and downs. So during that time, I confided in two of my very close friends, Jay and Mary. Jay was always quiet about the whole thing, which I assume was because she and Fred were also friends with my husband. Mary was quite vocal, which is how her personality is. Mary has like zero filters, and she tells it like she sees it, whether or not you want to hear it. So after my husband moved back home, I noticed that Jay acted oddly around him. She would turn red and act a little, flirtatious whenever my husband was around. But my husband never reciprocated or even seemed to notice. So I assumed that the whole thing was just in my head. So about a year ago, Jay and Fred separated, and Jay moved into a house in our neighborhood. I thought it was kind of odd because Jay and Fred lived a whole hour away from us. During this time, Jay would always call my husband and ask him for favors, to come help move some boxes or do some minor home repairs. He was the only man she knew in the general area. I noticed her odd behavior seemed to increase. Her conversations with him on social media also increased tenfold, and the frequency in which she texts me dropped off, while her flirting seemed to also be on the rise. So one day Mary was at my house, so we were hanging out when Jay happened to stop by. So us three girls were in the living room talking, laughing, when my husband came into the room for something. Jay's entire demeanor changed. She sat up straight, she fixed her hair a little bit. I noticed, but again, I thought I was being paranoid. Anyway, Jay left shortly after that. So after Jay left, Mary turned to me and said, Jay acts weird around your husband. And if I don't know better, I'd say she has a crush on him. So I was shocked that someone other than myself had noticed. I confided in Mary that I noticed strange behavior in Jay for a long time, but my husband seems to be totally clueless. So Mary and I had a conversation about it, and I was glad to be assured that it was just not in my head. I did not feel threatened by her advances, nor did I question my husband's relationship with her in any way. I jokingly mentioned to my husband what Mary and I had observed and discussed, and he seemed shocked and thought the whole thing was ridiculous. He did concede that it was strange that of all the places Jay could have moved after she and Fred split, she chose our neighborhood. He denied having an inappropriate relationship with Jay, and I believed it. So we joked about the absurdity of the whole situation. Fast forward a whole year and Jay is back with Fred. Jay's friendship with my husband seems to have grown stronger. They talk online a lot and they text each other frequently. I've never accused my husband of having an affair, but this quote-unquote friendship between him and Jay has caused me to raise some eyebrows. Jay rarely speaks to me anymore, and my husband rarely speaks with Jay. So I checked my husband's private message threads on this particular social media site, and there were no messages from Jay going back a whole year. I checked his email. He had received an email from the same social media site alerting him that he had received a private message from Jay the previous night at 11:30 p.m. Her message simply said, "Are you awake?" ? Obviously, he had deleted the message thread between him and Jay, but kept all his other messages. How peculiar. My relationship with my husband at this time is going through one of those rough patches, but this time is different. There doesn't seem to be any effort on his part to try to work out our differences, and he keeps making statements like, "We've probably grown apart." If I ask either one of them if there's something going on, of course, they will deny it. If I ask Fred if Jay has been acting oddly, I'll probably seem like a crazy person. So I'm not sure how to proceed. What are your thoughts? Elise?
I think our husband is an idiot.
Why man, I was an idiot? How is an idiot?
I think-
What? Idiot for what?
Because Sharon, okay, I get that sometimes he may not notice what she's doing, but women do notice things like that. And she's already addressed it with you. But you continue to not have any boundaries when it comes to her. So
That's what I'm making my idiot.
Because you don't listen. I shouldn't say that because I don't listen either, but in this case, you don't listen. My don't listening is something different.
Oh yeah?
Just
What's
not
it different? What different when you don't listen?
Because I mainly don't listen when people try to tell me what to do. Like I don't listen to that. Because I don't do the totally opposite. Good evening, Chantel.
Hey,
But
good Chantel.
I just think I don't know. I think he just creating issues where issues don't need to be created, and he needs to make sure his wife understands if that's the case, that he doesn't have anything going on with that lady.
All right. You want to know my thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
That man tearing that thing up. Okay? That man tearing that thing up. Wait,
He probably is because he's a man.
Okay, he's a victim here. The woman just abusing him. You know what I mean? Taking advantage of his kindness. Sending
It
him
doesn't matter that Fred is his friend.
Yeah, sending a man message at 11:30 to come move boxes, and you and Fred back together. Poor man. All All right. So, so what the question was? Is she being an asshole for thinking something going on? Something going on for sure. You ain't send nobody a message at 11:30 p.m. asking if they're awake, and you know the man married. You know that's the
She
situation.
want to know how she should proceed, though.
How she should proceed. The man could say can't die. That man, it's something going on. Something going on. So something going on. I think she needs to confront him. She needs to confront him. Or decide how she gonna handle it. You know what I'm saying? But you can't even if Jay and Fred didn't get back together, right? And she sent him that message at 11:30 asking if you're awake. Like that's like a big red flag. It's highly suspicious, and you could kind of make the far extreme excuse that there was some accident circumstances, like something that she really needed, some kind of like emergency. But Fred, you live with Fred, so why are you sending me messages at 11:30 asking if I'm awake, and you and your husband are back together? So something going on. I don't know. She have to decide, you know, how she want to handle it. But if I were in her shoes and something going on, and only the man above will come down, would have to come down personally and tell me ain't nothing going on. And if that happen, I'd be like, you sure you ain't blink? You know, but yeah, 11:30 at night. Knowing that,
But not,
she have the husband.
not even that. Jay is not a nice person. Cause Jay came to the house to the skin and grain with her just so she could be closer to the woman husband.
I like Mary though. Mary ain't that shit. You know what I mean? Mary sound like she like on top Jay if you're a whole man. You know what I mean? Mary sound like she the throw hand. She sound like she the throw hand. Yeah. So how she should be? Yeah, you gotta confront them and let the man know like, yeah, I see this message. So put him on notice like, either I gon like I answer you. You know what I'm saying? So either I gon cut this thing out, or I don't know. But Jay can't be too smart neither. I don't think Jay too smart. I don't, you know.
What
Jay-
you say now?
Okay, so Jay seems to be one of the women that. Okay, so people see other people in situations, and they'll feel like, okay, that person doing it, like I could do it too, and a lot of times they're not. Like, there's a right way to do everything, even wrong. There's a right way to do wrong. If it's a side piece, either preach, lane, integrity, got to be your priority. Lane, integrity have to be everything. Everything has to surround lane, integrity. It's a side piece, know your role. You got no reason to be sending this man or that message at 11:30 asking shit about are you awake? No. You're a side piece, you know I have a wife, I live with my wife. You can't be doing that. He know the husband need to like scatter J, because clearly you are a problem in my marriage, and if this is the dummy shit you're moving, you're only gonna become this is the stupid stuff that you're doing, you're only gonna become a bigger problem. So dude, like cut your losses. Cut your losses. What we talking about? Yeah, so we talking about this lady that had that best friend suspect something going on with she suspects something going on with her one of her friends and her husband. She checked the husband like messages, and they had no message from this particular friend. But when she went to his email, in the email he had an alert letting her know that he had this message 11:30 the night before, where the woman asked him if he is awake. So I'm just saying something going on. You don't be sending nobody, a married person at that, you send them a message at 11:30 asking them if they're awake. Nah. But he need to get rid of she, because that's one of them side piece that don't know how to be a side piece. So they're gonna cause ruction in your domestic affairs. Cut your losses, boss. Get rid of her. No. So yeah, the wife now, I think should pull him up and let him know, like, yeah, like, I see this message. Don't tell him how you see it. Just So yeah, like I know you. She sent me this message 11:30 last night. So that's how I think she should proceed. Put up a notice, and then the next move will be his. Either you're gonna cut off this stupid J, you know what I mean, and find you a sighting that know how to be a sighting, or you're gonna continue and J gonna cause even more problems in your domestic affairs.
So
Alright.
she should stay with him. So she should stay with him and long as he cut off Jay.
Correct. Now, depending on what neighborhood she from in the VI, if she was from the VI, depending on what neighborhood she from, she will stay with him. But
She from the VI.
she'll go and get
That
two.
woman ain't from the VI.
She'll go and get two sighting. That's how, you know. I ain't calling any, but certain neighborhood there. Yo, you got sighting? They'll go and get two. But anyway, I digress. All right. Next case. How you doing, Annalise? I need to vent. So imagine, I chasing this young girl, putting in time and effort for over 4 months now, trying to get some of the, you know, some of the goodies. Anyway, she called me last night and she asked me if I wanted to come over to her Netflix and chill. I was like, hell yeah. She asked me to stop to KFC to get something for her. She told me she wanted 2 breasts and a thigh. So I told her, no problem. And that I hope to be getting the same thing, but not from KFC. So she laughed and said, well, we'll see what the night brings. So I showered, I took a shower, I jumped in my car to go to KFC, only to end up stuck in traffic due to a major car accident. So I was literally sitting in traffic for about 20 minutes before they were finally able to move one of the accident vehicles enough to allow the traffic to navigate around the accident. So I got to KFC and I met a line. Like, WTF? Like nobody cooks dinner at home anymore? Anyway, as soon as I get to the front of the line and begin ordering, I get a text message from her saying, don't bother with coming over again. I'm tired and I'm going to sleep. So I responded immediately, letting her know that I'm at KFC waiting for her order. She responded, I'm tired, I'm going to sleep, don't bother to come. So I know it vexed bad. Because there was big Rasta man walking out of KFC with a box of stuff I don't eat. And she knows that I'm a vegetarian. Shoops. Anyway, I think that was a very inconsiderate thing for her to do. And I want to cuss her out so bad. Would I be an asshole if I did cuss her out? You want me to go first?
Yeah, because, yeah.
Cuss her out, yes. Cuss her the hell out.
Why?
You done fire this man. Tell the man to come Netflix and chill. He would have been there already had he to get you 2 breasts and thigh. And then you ain't even have the patience to let the man explain to you why he ain't reach yet.
What difference it makes? She said she's sleepy and she's going to sleep.
Nah, yeah, but you don't make the man come out the house. You don't make the man come out the house. The man have high hopes.
At least she's stopping before he reach.
He don't get
closer to home than he would have been if he had reached all the way.
That's not the point. The point, the man don't on the way.
Point.
The man don't fire, the man don't excited, the man have this high hopes that he gonna get breast and thigh, not from KFC. Come on, man.
And this is the problem.
What is the problem?
One track mind. See, people, you guys have one track mind.
He was clear.
A breast for a breast.
He made it clear what he hoped to get. I mean, she did. No, granted, she didn't commit. She didn't say, yeah, I'm getting it. She didn't. No, but she kept hope alive. She said, well, let's see what the night brings. She didn't say no. And I bet she didn't. I bet
what the night brings.
And I bet she had no intention.
What the night brings.
She had no intention of getting a man on. She just didn't say no because her ass wanted a KFC. That's all. This all it is.
So.
He mean and so. They only get a man big rats, a man big Bubba Dread, come out of KFC with a box of crispy chicken, like.
And he said he was embarrassed.
Of course.
He wasn't embarrassed until he found out he wasn't getting none. And that's when the embarrassment. Then he realized he's a Rasta man and he shouldn't be at KFC.
he would embarrassed anyway, but the embarrassment was worth it.
Thank you, Chantel.
Chantel, boy, I agree with Elise. Listen, Elise, the embarrassment was worth the potential reward. Once you remove the reward, then it's just embarrassment. It's plain to see. Cuss her out.
Cuss her out?
Yeah, cuss her out.
You sound like more like
Patience. They only got to mention about. But cuss her out for not patient with you. What the hell going on? I really internet, not internet and again. Yeah, so cuss out, boss. Cuss out. You're gonna feel better. She could have had a
you
little.
sound like a damn fool.
She could have had some patience, man. Come on, man. Don't make the man shower. I mean,
She could have let him drive all the way there and knock on the door till Jesus come down out the cross and not answer it. At least she call him and tell him that she was going to sleep.
yeah, I ain't about that.
Because if you think he vexed now, how vexed he would have been when he reached there and she answered her door. He better be grateful.
Hey.
And a typical Virgin Island man want to curse women for stupidness, for their own legs and thighs. They want to be cussing people.
No, he
Stupid bad.
cussing her because you sent me big rats on my bubble dread. You had me in KFC by breast and tie. That's why I cussed it for. And then you had
Yeah,
the
but
patience.
you
did?
willingly went.
Yeah, but you ain't had the patience. Okay, all right. Give the man a chance to explain why he late and then, make a decision. Okay, all right, well, cool. All right. 10 more minutes. Okay. Okay, do I stay? Oh, no. Okay. All right, so the next one, the one. Elise, do you better behave yourself. You ain't. Elise. Hey, Elise, a lot of chatting. Anyway, y'all, next case. I took my kids out yesterday and I spent a little over $1,000, right? Between the hair, nails, taking them to the theme park and dinner. So while we were out, the guy that I've been dating for about a month called and he asked me where I was. So when I told him where I was, he said that he was only 10 minutes away and he wanted to stop by. So I normally don't let people around my children that early, but for some reason, I made an exception. Anyways, when he got there, the first thing he asked was, how much did this entire day cost you? I thought it was an odd question, but instead of telling him, I handed him my phone so that he could see the transactions for himself. So he added up
Hold on. You said they've been together for a month?
Yeah.
Continue.
So he added everything up. He reached into his pocket and he pulled out $2,000 cash and he handed it to me. So I said, what is this for? He looked at me and he said, the fact that you showed me exactly what you spent without trying to exaggerate anything says a lot about your character. And after seeing all that money you spent, I noticed that none of it was spent on yourself. You made sure your kids had everything first, and I'm attracted to good mothers. Y'all, I instantly started crying because I've spent so much time hearing people say that men don't want women with kids. Yet here was this man blessing me and my children without me asking for a thing. But he refused to take it. He stayed with us for about 5 hours. Before he left to the side and he said, I really enjoyed y'all's company, but I gotta get home before my wife gets off from work. I've been crying all night long because I finally thought that I'd really found the one. What are your thoughts?
It's good for her.
So anyway, when I saw this, of course I read the comments. So the woman were up in the comments like, "Yo, listen here, nah, that's the 2 eye husband now." Some other people are telling her like, "Yeah, like call him up the next time you take your kids out, call him up." So I kind of felt sorry for her because she really thought that she had found the one, like Mr. Right and. But so okay, so a couple of questions ran through my mind. So, like you've been dating for a whole month.
Well,
Go ahead.
you asked
Sim-
you
If she asked him if you were
why
married,
she have to ask him?
have some free time on his hands.
And then they dating for a month and you pulling up on me and my cheering and you putting down song like
I ain't had nobody no phone to go to no receipt and they don't dating a month like you like that. I
exactly.
yeah. And then you
You said you don't let people meet your children that early, but you were willing to do that this one time for what?
yeah, and you ain't
It's
coming
good
around.
for her.
Yeah, you ain't coming wrong, my children. That and not a month it. And not a month it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's why Lifetime always have a movie to be made.
Yeah, well, most of the women that comment on this were like, "Yo, my son, you call he up the next time you go out with your children." Them. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, so final one, and I'll get out of here because I know you gotta go. I got married in the beginning of April to a great guy. He's naughty and clingy, but he's a good guy. We knew each other for 2 months before he asked me to marry him. Here's how the proposal went. He said, "Are you ready for me to upgrade your life?" So of course I said yes. I should have known I was doing too much when I got married because nobody at all believed that I did actually get married. My mom used to tell me all the time that I'm not the marrying type, but I wanted to prove to her. Okay, let me start over. My mom used to tell me that I'm not the marrying type, but I wanted to prove to her 3 times married ass that I was. This man is so friggin' boring. The dates are fun, but the sex is not that at all. I had a Rasta and a backup Rasta when we met. I let most of them go. My husband keeps telling me that he wants us to have a family and he wants me to help out in our garden and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, I'm only 28 years old. Anyway, 2 nights before our wedding, I had a train run on me. And that's the kind of excitement I want. I kind of want a divorce, but I also want to prove to my family that I can do this marriage thing. So how do I balance what I want and the marriage? The benefits of being married are too good to let go. So how does she balance?
She actually take that out of her head and put it on a paper for other people to see.
Once it has the kind of excitement she wants, yeah.
There's some things that you think about. No. There's some things that you think about, like you think about it. Say it out loud. Much more right paper.
Don't hate on the eager beaver. Yeah, so you have no enjoying this kind of excitement, the thrill of
Even take this from her head, and I have nothing.
Oh man, that's really crazy. All right, folks, we'll be back next week. I believe we're gonna have a guest. Next week. Same time, same place. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook at Unhinged, the Dwayne and Lee Show, and YouTube, the Unhinged_VI. Thank you for those of you that tune in and participated in the chat. We'll see you guys next week. We're out. Have a safe week, everyone.
Good night.